Her name was Elise Voss. I know this because I spent the next 72 hours finding out everything about her. I didn't sleep. I barely ate. I read the journal front to back 4 times. I kept the curtains closed. I turned my phone face down when Daniel texted. "Good morning. Miss you already. Where are you?" Getting worried. "Nora, please just let me know you're okay." I didn't reply. Because I was reading about a woman who had lived inside his mind for a decade. And I needed to understand her before I could understand what I was. It started 10 years ago. Daniel was 26. Elise Voss was 25. They met through overlapping academic circles. He was beginning his postgraduate work in landscape design. She was in her 2nd year of a botany PhD. In the journal, he writes about the first time he saw her with the kind of precision that crosses into something else. The way her hands moved when she talked. The particular quality of her silence. Full, he writes, not empty. She made silence feel full. The way she moved through rooms like she already knew what mattered in them. He writes, "I have never felt so immediately known by the presence of another person. She didn't see me. She simply knew I was there. That was enough." 18 months they were together. From the outside, from what I could piece together through the journal, it sounds like it was real. Whatever real means. He loved her in the way people love things they can't fully hold. Desperately, carelessly, without enough understanding of what they were doing. And then, she left. The journal gives no reason for the leaving, just a date, and then 6 blank pages. 6. I counted them. 1 for each month she must have tried to work through it, I imagined. When the writing resumes, it is different, tighter, more clinical. The handwriting smaller, more controlled, like something being held in. He writes, "I have spent 4 months trying to understand what I did wrong. I have been approaching this incorrectly. The fault is not in what I did. The fault is in what I failed to complete. She needed more. She needed someone who could hold the full shape of her. I gave her fragments. I need to learn to give the whole thing. The next one will be different. The next one will hold. The next one." Like she was a prototype, like Elise had been, version 1. And something about that failure had not broken him, had focused him, had given him a project. I put the journal down after that, went to the window, stood there for a long time, thought about every dinner, every perfect detail, every correction dressed as care, every moment I'd felt understood, truly, deeply understood in a way I couldn't explain. And I understood why I couldn't explain it. It wasn't understanding, it was research. He hadn't seen me. He'd seen the data. I had to find Elise. It took me about an hour, but I knew I'd found her when I saw my face staring back at me on a page that wasn't mine. She had moved to Iceland, a research position with a botanical institute outside Reykjavik, remote, deliberate, the kind of move people make when they need distance that only geography can provide. Her professional page was minimal. Academic papers, conference appearances, a photograph that could have been taken yesterday or 5 years ago. I stared at that photograph for a long time. She was older now, of course, but she still had my face. Or rather, I still had hers. I found an email address, sat with it for 2 hours, wrote and deleted the same message 6 times, finally sent something plain and true. "My name is Nora. I think we both know the same man. I found a journal with your name in it. I have photographs and notes I think you should see. I don't know what I'm looking for, but I think you might." I attached a photograph of the notice board and the journal's first page. Then I pressed send before the rational part of my brain could intervene. 4 hours and 17 minutes later, my laptop chimed. 3 sentences. "I know who you are. I've been watching his social media for years. Get out while you can still choose to." We spoke that night. Video call. I needed to see her face. She looked calm. The kind of calm that takes years to build. Not peace, not happiness. Just the flat, settled stillness of someone who has made their decisions and lives inside them. She looked at me through the screen, said nothing for a moment. Then, "You look just like me. If I didn't know better, I think you were my long-lost twin." I stared back. I still couldn't believe my eyes. The resemblance was uncanny. We both stared at each other a beat longer. "How long have you been tracking him?" I asked. "Since I left," she said. "I track everyone he's with. I've tried to warn 2 of them, neither believed me." "Why didn't you go to the police?" "And tell them what? That a man I dated is very attentive to the women he dates after me, that he keeps notes?" She shook her head. "He's done nothing illegal. He's just thorough." Thorough. The word landed like something cold. "Tell me about Mara," I said. Elise was quiet for a moment. "Mara lasted the longest," she said. "Almost 3 years. She was the closest he ever got." "Closest to what?" "To me," she said simply. "She was close enough to my behavioural patterns that he held on longer than usual, but she started to fight it eventually, the corrections, the adjustment." She paused. "He doesn't do it violently. He doesn't shout. He doesn't threaten. He just redirects. Gently, persistently, until the woman he's with has been so gradually moved from herself that she can't quite remember who she was before." "And Mara?" "Mara figured it out, like you. She found the journal, she told Claire, and then she disappeared before he could finish." "Finish," I said. "The process, whatever the process is. I don't know what the end looks like. No one has stayed long enough to find out." "What is he actually trying to do?" I asked. Elise looked at her hands. "He's trying to rebuild me," she said. "Not because he's still in love with me. I don't think it's about love anymore. It's about the failure. He failed to hold me. He failed to complete something, and he can't. Let that stand." "So every woman is an attempt to correct the failure," she said. "To prove to himself that he can do it, that he can take someone with the right raw material, and shape them into what he needed, what he wasn't good enough to keep." I said, "He didn't choose these women randomly." "No," she said. "He chose women who already looked like you." "Yes." "Which means he chose me for the same reason." Elise looked at me through the screen, said nothing, but I could see the pity in her eyes. My entire world was crumbling, falling to pieces. That night, I went back to the journal, the last few entries. Newer handwriting, more urgent. The pen pressed harder into the paper. He wrote about a woman, not by description, by name. My name, Nora, written months before I ever walked into that bookshop. He described me, where I lived, where I worked, where I went on Saturday mornings. He described the bookshop, the shelf I favoured, the books I was likely to reach for because he'd watched me reach for the same genre, time and time again, through the window before he ever walked through the door. He had positioned himself on the other side of the shelf waiting to see which book I would reach for. And when I had made my choice, he quickly grabbed it. He had written out the opening line, he had rehearsed it, all of it. He had been stalking me for months, and I was so wrapped up in my own little world I never noticed. I wasn't a new beginning, I wasn't even a gamble, I was a calculated move. The most prepared attempt yet, chosen not randomly, not even just for the eyes, for something else, something he hadn't told me yet, something that I was beginning to slowly understand.